goes over a tenth of a second fast.
Well, welcome back everybody, and of course, as I said previously, we've got the big boys to look forward to. It is the Master Split here. Unfortunately, we're just having a bit of server trouble, so we're just waiting for that to be sorted. But once again, my name is Ross McIntyre, and joining me for a little bit of co-commentary and on the cameras tonight is league owner Kilgore Trout. You're right, Kilgore?
Hello there. How's it going?
Yeah, I'm alright. I've had a bit of chocolate. I know I shouldn't have done, but you know, I'll live. And yeah, all looking forward. Of course, we had a brilliant little challenger split race. Well, I say little 40 laps for the master guys as well. But yeah, it's sure to be an absolutely fantastic race if the challenger split was anything to go off of. And whoo boy, is there a lot of gossip to talk about in the master split. The challenger split is usually one where all the driver moves and the volatile markets and that happening. Not this time. The master split has gone absolutely crazy, and as I mentioned previously during the challenger split race, one of the reasons for that was because Vermin Art, the reigning constructors champions, have not entered for this season because they didn't want to, which is perfectly fair enough. So their drivers have all gone scrambling elsewhere. So I'm just going to read out some driver transfer here. Okay, there's a bit of a list. So Alex Cochrane's gone to Griffin Gaming. Oscar Williams and Irma Reese have gone to CRG, who were entered last year but didn't actually turn up to any races. Mustafa Moradi joins Younger GP. Jordi Lawis joins TC Esports from Nova Finlandia. Agnes Resitis is promoted to the first team alongside him after he took the Challenger Split crown last season. Dave Brave and Felipe Olsen have gone to Volpino Arctico. Team Canada didn't show up in the Challenger Split. They are what Volpino Arctico was last year. Volpino Arctico have kind of become an in-between Volpino and Team Canada. They're now in the Master Split, and they've got Dave Brave and Felipe Olsen. Tarek Batata returns after a couple seasons absence and goes back to DAC. Tommy Yalart, apologies, I've absolutely butchered that already. Ilitalo. Yeah, Tommy Ilitalo joins the Golf Racing Club, who are newly reformed for this season. Maxi Younger is supposed to be on a sabbatical, but he's stepped in for TC Academy for this one-off. He is their reserve driver, and he's here for this one-off. Anthony Penn goes and joins Griffin Gaming Ultra. Nova Finlandia, I'll touch on that in a bit. I won't go too in-depth on that, but there's some stuff going on there. So that's just a brief hint at what's going on with some of the driver transfers. It's a bit hectic. We've got some new teams coming in. We've got some old faces returning in terms of team names, and of course, we've got some old names coming back in new form, such as Team Canada and the newly reformed Golf Racing Club. Now, if I just pull out my notes, as I was saying previously, of course, it is the same format as the Challenger Split. We've got qualifying first up, then a 200-kilometer race, or 40 laps to you and I, around this 5.3-kilometer or 3.2-mile circuit around that big lake in Albert Park in Melbourne, Australia. 14 turns as well for the drivers to negotiate. The total lap record has been broken in the Challenger Split qualifying. It is now a 1 minute 19.2 something or other. But the lap record still held by Andrea Shielder from Season 6 at a 1 minute 20.721. Will we be seeing these guys break that? I do not know. We'll have to find out. The real lap record, of course, held by Michael Schumacher back in 2004 in the formidable F2004. Set a lap of a 1 minute 24.123. Now, as I've obviously already said previously, but why not go through again? Trout last visited Albert Park back in Season 7. But that was when we were using the RSS Formula Hybrid X 2022, which is obviously the car which is based off of what the regulations should be next year in Formula 1. And they are slower than the current regulations and the current cars that we are using, the RSS Formula Hybrid 2021, which, funnily enough, is based off of the 2021 Formula 1 regulations. so that's why there was no lap records that time. But it was well, also that it was the site of the inaugural Challenger split race that season, so at least you have that. Of course, this is the first race with the new 2021 car as well. We've all been keeping a keen eye on the Challenger split race to see how they fared. And one thing that was obvious was the lack of rear grip. Of course, the new 2022 regulations, 2021 regulations, apologies, is the floor has basically been chopped up. It's almost like it's been chopped up with a hacksaw, and it's been really simplified and massively chopped up. So it's there's a big lost rear downforce, which is a problem for those guys who like rear downforce. But it makes for some exciting racing because we saw a fair few spins of people just trying desperately to get used to the new car. No. Anything else we need to talk about? Well, I'm sure there definitely will be, as we are now underway. And well, there's a few more teams you may have just seen on the halo of the BAG Motorsport car. It says Ross got me here. If you're unaware, if you're new to the Trout scene, well, I simp for BAG and BAG simps for me. Do not ask questions. I love those Brazilian guys. They're legends and they love me. So we roll with that. So let's run through who some of the new boys are, as qualifying has just got underway. So, of course, we have who are on board with that at the moment. Giovanni Amorim, BAG Motorsports, the Amorim brothers over at BAG Motorsports. They won the Challenger Split Constructors Championship last season, so they got themselves promotion into the Master Split, which is great stuff. Andrea Shielder and Alex Cochran, of course, making the lineup at Griffin Gaming. No changes there, apart from Cochran. Christoph Berzer moves into a reserve driver role. Steven Stevenson goes and partners Toby Sanford over at Oxtan with Mick Small-Tiff from the reserve driver. Obviously, he replaces David Halligan there, and Oxtan now part of the new Oxygen driver program. I will speak more on that later. CRG Racing making a return after being registered last season while not really doing anything. They've got the Welsh wizard Oscar Williams and Ermis Rees in their lineup, along with Carlos Scomanis and Damien DeGrasse in their reserve list. Over at Junior GP, this is the lineup. Jan Dragoon and Mustafa Moradi. If you were around last season, you will know that these two are the new up-and-comers in Formula Trout. Moradi and Dragoon is a lineup to be scared of. However, Moradi starting from the back of the grid today, unfortunately, for reasons. Actually, I can tell you why he's starting from the back of the grid. It's because there was a load of people from the last race last season in Brazil who got grid penalties for this race from going off track in qualifying. So it's Max Hammerlink, Mustafa Moradi, and Maxi Junger all getting back of grid penalties, apparently. They'll be starting from the back, so we should be seeing some coming through the pack action. It's good to see, Dragoon and Moradi. That's the lineup to be scared of over at Junior GP. This is the Junior GP Australian Grand Prix as well. It's not their home race, but they sponsor it. Again, if you're around for the Challenger Split, you'll have heard me saying sponsoring is just that fun little thing we do. It's one of the ways we're able to fund the server. Of course, it's all non-profit here at Formula Trout. So one of the fun little ways we can fund and keep the league still going is you can place bids, just a couple euros, and you can win sponsorship for the race, and you can sponsor it with whatever you want. Max Junger sponsored this race and decided to sponsor it with his team, Junger GP. DHF1, they're a new team on the block. David Halligan seems to be his team, lining up with a two-time champion, Paul Magzire, as well. Paul has been on the podium here previously. He finished second here the last time we were at Australia in Season 7. Of course, Clank Hughes took that race win, but he's no longer racing with us here in Trout. TC Esports, as I said, Jordi Lauis and Agnes Rositis. That's another lineup to be scared of. Agnes Rositis, our most recent Challenger Split champion. Then Volpino Artico, Dave Brave, and Felipe Olsen as well. That's not too bad at all. Volpino Racing, Connor Peltman's returns, and Stein Prinz making a comeback. Another very quick driver, stepping back into the Assetto Corsa world after a brief absence over doing weird things in R-Factor 2 in LMP2 cars with rookie monsters. But he's back now, and he's hungry for more, I think is the term that I would use. But it's great to see Stein Prinz back. DAC Racing, Dave Southard, and Tarek Batata making his return. The American driver coming back after a season's absence, with Ryan Wilson and Jack Smith on the reserve lift as well. The Golf Racing Club, they're back after a few seasons away. Cyprian Stoyan and Tommy Ilitalo. There you go. I'm going to get that wrong many times. I do apologise, Tommy. I do try and get the names right. Tommy Ilitalo, David J. Bull and Jaap Wagenvoort as well on their reserve list. TC Esports Academy returns with Simon Benoit and Dmitry Kamashov getting promoted up from the Challenger split. Griffin Gaming Ultra showing up with Anthony Penn and Colombo Griffiths. TC Esports Academy, well, they're fielding Maxi Junger tonight. Maxi, for those unaware, is the most successful driver in Trout history. 21 wins to his name and 4 championships. 2 Premier Series championships, 1 Sprint Series championship, which he recently took in the last Sprint Series we did, not the current one. And also a Codemasters championship when we did a season back on Codemasters well back in the day. He's supposed to be on a sabbatical. He only just defeated Oscar Williams in that Sprint Series championship. And he just said he was so worn out, so burnt out from just trying super hard to try and win that championship that he wanted to go on a sabbatical. But instead, he's standing in a race for TC Esports Academy. I'm also not expecting many big things from him because he was between you and I, he was out on a 2-day bender with some of his mates and was still out partying early this morning. So I'm not expecting big things from Maxi Junger, to be brutally honest. But yeah, it's still nice to have on the grid. Nova Finlandia I will touch on briefly. They're fielding reigning champion Max Hammerlink and Hygo Poon, who's this the first time I've seen him in a set, of course, but he's a very competent R-Factor 2 driver. Nova Finlandia, unfortunately, some of their drivers are currently under investigation for a few rule infringements. So they are not being fielded today. If they are found not guilty of that, they will be fielded again. I'm not going to name names or anything. But just to let you know that their lineup is subject to change based on what happens with the outcome of those queries. But it is Hammerlink and Poom out there today. Of course, Max Hammerlink, the reigning Formula Trout Master Split champion after dominating last season. He will be one to watch out from, but he's also, again, starting from the back of the grid today. It is currently Andrea Shielder sitting on provisional pole with a 118.681, absolutely smashing the lap record at the moment. And Hygo Pim going 3rd as it stands as well. That's not a bad lap time from him. Now, Kilgore, this is a general question. I was talking recently I was talking recently about in the challenge split about this new Oxygen program you've got running. So why don't you explain a little bit to our audience what that actually is?
You caught me off guard. Oxygen is a sort of like a talent agency for sim racers. We just try and essentially find what we think is the next future champion, and we work with the guys to hone in on their skills, and we get them working with more experienced drivers as well. So it's just a nice talent pool of drivers that are essentially just working together towards one goal. So, well, I guess a few goals under one ceiling, to be the best and to be the best at the game, and to work together.
That's great stuff to hear. And of course, your team Oxtan are part of that. Also, the Golf Racing Club and Lioneers down in the Challenger split. So it's certainly a healthy pool, and obviously big things looking forward from it. So we're all got our eyes peeled. We're all very excited for it to be future. I'm about to be incredibly unprofessional and do this on the stream. Is there any chance you could restart your Discord stream, Kilgore? I did send you a message. I don't know if you saw it. It's just not working for me. Let me try that again. Apologies. There we go. Now it's working. Yeah, sorry. A few technical issues on our behalf. And now it's black, apparently. Apologies about that. Now it's clear again. There we go. Apologies. Discord hasn't been our friends now. We're having a few problems with Alex as well earlier on the live stream. But yeah, all working now. Thank you for that. Currently, Andrea Shielder sitting on provisional pole. Of course, he was our champion from Season 7. He's currently sitting there with a 118.681. That is definitely a new lap record. Ernest Rees in P2, 4/10 off. Paul Magzai, P3, with his new team, 8/10 off. There is the Welsh Wizard, Oscar Williams, currently in P. Oh, he's actually he's actually last. So he's not set a competitive lap yet, but I will allow it. Obviously, Oscar is a very quick driver, and one I'll be expecting big things from this season. As we're he's just working his way around now. Well, there's a few people. Well, Giovanni Mormon, P6. That's an immediate eye opener. The bad guys coming straight in with some killer lap times already. Bruno Mormon is P90, but Giovanni with a great lap up to P6. And Oscar Williams currently on a lap, looking pretty tasty as well. And Dave Brave as well, P4. Good start from him. Halligan, P7. That's good. Your two drivers, Toby Sanford in P12. I don't think Steven Stevenson set a lap. Oh no, he's not entered this race, that's why. But yeah, it's just the one Octane car tonight for any Octane fans out there. Oscar Williams did go to P12 and it displaced Sanford with a 120.131. And well, here is Andrea Shielder on board with the Season 7 champion in the Griffin Gaming car. No longer carrying that coveted 1. But it's he's still a quick driver, still a formidable driver. As you see, running the 89 this season. Back to his old number, back to what he once was running. And well, it's good. On one hand, it's good to see him not wearing the 1, but as well, you know, Andreas, I think, just had a little bit of burnout last season from his championship season. So I'm hoping that he'll be back to his best this year. Of course, Andreas is a very quick driver as well, and a very successful one in the track world as well. What's it going to be as he comes to the line? He does go pole. Well, he was already on pole, but he goes even faster, 118.358. Andreas is the second most successful driver in Trout in terms of wins, with 13 wins to him. However, he's only won a championship once. Paul Magzire only has 8 wins, but has won 2 Premier Series championships. But even then, Clank Hughes is ahead of him on all-time wins. So it's interesting to see. Oh, apparently my display just crashed. It's back now. Apparently, there is Paul Magzire in a very nice-looking DHF1 car. That's a new team this season, running Paul Magzire and funnily enough, David Halligan. No surprises for what the name of the team stands for. But yeah, that's a very nice looking car. That is. Of course, the livery's once again looking spectacular. And well, Magzire currently up on his personal best as he comes to the line and goes P3. So Magzire on form. It's Shielder from Reese from Magzire. Hygo Poom's P4. That is great stuff from Hygo Poom. Great team up there as well. Halligan in P5, brilliant. Batata in P7, brilliant. Amore in P8, brilliant. Cocker in P9, brilliant. Rositis goes to 12th, great stuff from our Challenger Split champion from last season. There is David Halligan in his new team. And come on, Kilwell, let's see Toby Sanford in the Octane car. Let's see your new livery. I haven't actually seen it yet. There it is. Oh, that's looking quite. Oh, I like the blue. There you go, a bit of a livery review here. Obviously powered by Oxygen, as you can see. Octane pioneering the new driver program. That is the only Octane you'll be seeing tonight. Unfortunately, Steven Stevenson was unable to make this race. But Toby Sanford currently in P16 and on an outlap at the moment. Still 4 minutes left to go in this qualifying session. And I know he's not as much of a fan of the FH 2021 as the FH 2020. And he's not alone in that either. Mustafa Moradi disconnecting for reasons beyond me. He's one of the drivers starting from the back in the Yinger GP car. And why don't we go for an onboard lap with Toby Sanford? Why not? We're on board with him. Let's stick with it. Oh, no, he's coming into the pits. Oh, Toby. Well, that's how you take the pit entrance. But yeah, Toby Sanford, I was getting all excited there. But he'll be heading back out, I'm sure, shortly for his final flying lap. And Simon Benoit's coming in as well. Come on, guys. Where's all the on-track action? There's 3 minutes and 30 seconds left to go. Alex Cochrane's on a huge lap. Well, I thought it said 9/10 up there, but actually that was my end having a moment. He's actually bang on his personal best at the moment. He's a first time in the Griffin Gaming car. Seems to be enjoying himself. They've done for a bit of a different livery this year. It's a bit of a darker shade of blue, a lot more white as well. I like it. I like it. Of course, this is the first time I'm seeing a lot of the new liveries. So I'm doing a livery review as well. And apparently he's got his DAC Racing helmet on. I got confused then. Alex is the team owner over at DAC Racing. So that's why he's got DAC Racing on his helmet. And of course, as he heads out into the back end of the track, This is the first time that the Master Split drivers have turned a wheel in anger. They will have been studying the Challenger Split guys as they're trying to gauge. Oh, he's going to get held up by the Volpino Arctico car. Oh, he's lost 2/10 there. That's that lap out the window. He's going to gain a 10th back through the last corner, but that's 2/10 gone. And he's, well, he's going to go up to P10, displaces Oscar Williams, but not what could have been. Of course, this is the first time, as I was mentioning, that the Master Split guys are turning a wheel in the FH21 in anger. Of course, this new car from the guys over at Racing Studios. 990 bhp at the wheels, 675 newton meters of torque, weighing in at 752 kilos. At full chat, it will do 340 kilometers an hour easily. It is quick. It is very, very quick. Dave Southard starting what will be, I presume, his last flying lap. He's down in 19th at the moment, but well, that's a bit low for him. I expect him to be a lot higher up. This grid is absolutely stacked this season, even more so than last year. And obviously with that no vermin, guys, it's suddenly very, very close. So it's, that being said, Andrea Shielder 7/10 up on anybody. He is flying at the moment. You know, Bruno Morum there sets a personal best lap. 2.7 seconds off the pace though. Tommy Ilitalo in P5 as it stands. We've been joined by Carlos Skermanis.
Hey, just wanted to warn you, there might be a car behind you at the start, so please teleport pits with control.
Oh, don't worry, we'll be on it. We will be on the case. Do not worry, Carlos. Carlos helps run things over here at Formula Trout. He is the head of the Premier Series. Carlos, want to say a few words to the adoring fans at home, or?
I hope for a clean race. I hope that there is no issues and everything can go smoothly. Also, good racing, but I don't think Master has other bad races. So I hope an exciting one since there are 24 cars on the grid.
Well, 24 cars, it's sure to be absolutely crazy. Thanks for popping in quickly, Carlos. Nice to speak to you. And yeah, don't worry. I'm sure Kilgore will teleport his camera car off the grid.
Thank you.
Well, that was the head of the Premier Series, Carlos Skermanis. There is Hygo Poo, meanwhile, in the Nova Finlandia car. And he's up on his best lap as well. 3/10. Batata goes to third. Poom goes to third. Displaces Batata. Shielder's been done by Reese. Ernest Reese has done Shielder. Hey! That is not something I was expecting to see. It is checkered flag now. That is it. Morum goes to P5. So this will be your final lap times. Yeah, Reese, that's a surprise. One goes to pole out of nowhere. That's a huge lap from Ernest Reese. And that suddenly, yeah, well, the Nova Finlandia guys are looking quick. As well, Ernest Reese. That's a big lap. What can David Halligan do comes to the line? He goes to P7. P8, apologies. Nope, it says 8 on one corner and then 7 in the other. Jordi Lowis up to P9. That's good stuff from him. First time with TC Esports. Great to see. Yes, Ernest Reese though. Wow. Great lap. Andrea Shielder isn't going to improve. Toby Sanford is also down, so he'll be 15th. Simon Benoit's down as well. It could be Ernest Reese on pole. I don't think anyone else is on a push lap. That is, that's Giovanni Amorim, I believe. P5, great start to Giovanni Amorim's Master Split career. And really proving himself out there. That is awesome stuff. You get some last minute camera action. Anyone going to go any faster as we cross the line? Nope. So, if that is it, Ernest Reese snatches the pole at the death by 0.02 of a second. Andrea Shielder will be P2 and then 0.6 back. Hygo Poom on his return in P3. Batata will be P4 as well. Wow, we've got a few returning drivers lighting up the timing screens, but it's Reese and Shielder setting the world on fire. Giovanni Amorim can take a bow in P5. That is also a new total lap record, by the way. An 18.334. Awesome stuff from Ernest Reese. That definitely won't be beaten in the race. So I'm just going to take a note of that. I am now starting to take notes of Trout lap records. So 334. There we go. Just so I note that down. Yeah, so it's now not going to be, oh, this, how can you beat the Formula 1 driver? From this season, it will be, can you beat the best of Trout? And of course, this will be probably the best lap records we're going to get for a long time. Because the regulations change next year, because the cars change next year. Because next season's car's based off of the 2022 F1 regulations, which are obviously a lot slower. Ernest Rees, though, in the CRG car. That is awesome stuff. So it will be Rees on pole, Andrea Shielder P2, Hygo Poom goes to P3, Tarek Batata in his return, P4, Giovanni Amorim with a great lap in P5, David Halligan, Paul Magzar, sorry, P6, David Halligan 7, I didn't quite catch the end of that, sorry Kilgore, but there's a few at the back, we've got Burza didn't do a lap actually, I don't think, but it's, yeah, then Halligan 7, Ilitalo 8th, Lawis 9th, Simon Benoit in P10, then Dave Brave 11th, Philippe Olsen 12th, great stuff from the Volpino Artsco guys, Alex Cochrane, Oscar Williams, the Welsh Wizard 14th, Toby Sanford, Dave Southern, Anthony Penn, Agnes Rositis, our champions, Challenger Split champion, sorry, Cyprian Storian, Bruno Morum is P20, then at 21st, we should have, if it changes, Max Hammerlink, these guys all didn't set laps, they're all starting from the back, it's Hammerlink, Junger, Moradi, Dragoon, Burza is just in a camera car, and then there's Mr. Kilgore Trout being on the camera as well. That was a surprise, Kilgore. Rees on pole. I don't think we saw that one coming part.
I mean, you're right there, Ross. Doing a good old F1 97 impression of Murray Walker and Brundle. 20 seconds before the lights out, so let's get to the grid.
Yeah, indeed. Actually, it's Burza's race directing. Apologies, I got that wrong. Well, lights will be going on. 6 red lights, and then we'll be underway for round 1 of the Formula Trout Premier Series Master Split. Lights out, and we're underway here. It's a good start from Rees. Shielder doesn't get away quite so well in the second phase, so it will be Rees leading into turn 1. Are we able to stay clean? Looks like it's all okay in the background so far for the time being. Oh, there's a car going straight on there to the right, but apart, that's one of the Golf racing. Oh, I think that might have been a Nova Finlandia car sliding, but apart from that, it's all clean. Rees leads the way. Heading into turn 3 with a great start. Shielder is P2. Oh, almost contact there between Oscar Williams and one of the Volpino Arctico cars. And all cars up there in the background as well. Interesting, we've got 2 Volpino Arctico cars here today, but no Volpino cars. But that is beside the point. Rees leads the way from Shielder, from Poom, from Patata. Magzire, Morum losing out on the first lap as well. It would seem that it is Rees that leads the way on lap 1 with a great start. And, well, there we can see a few drivers heading through. Well, that chicane has now changed. Of course, this is the older variant of the track. But no one's actually raced on the new variant of the track with the updated corners. And there isn't one that exists in Assetto Corsa. So you're just going to have to cope with us here in Albert Park in Melbourne, Australia. Rees leading the way. Lap 140, it will be Rees who leads the first lap after snatching pole at the death. That is great stuff. As, well, he leads the way. And again, Shielder not getting the best start at all. Hygo Poom, brilliant stuff from him. Batata as well in P4. Magzai gaining places. Jordi Lawis has had a brilliant first lap as well in the TC Esports car. Ilitalo has lost out big time. Cochrane's gone moving forward as well. Toby Sanford's made a place. Dave Southers made lots of places. Hammerlink and Moradi already moving up. Bruno Morum's made places as well. There's Jan Dragoon. There is the 2 Junger GP guys. Maxi Junger will be behind in the TC Esports Academy car. Again, this is a one-off race and he's been on a massive bender, so don't expect to be seeing much. I know it's just before the watershed, but I'm still going to say it anyway. There is Alex Cochrane as well, looking to impress. However, it is important to note a few drivers here tonight might be a little bit off the pace because they're actually competing in a 24-hour race this weekend. Alex Cochrane, Agnes Rositis as well, one to mention. Both of which are competing in a Le Mans 24-hour, which I'm also commentating on. I've come straight from that to do this, and I'm going away from this to do the night stint on that one. Oh, Oscar Williams round! The Welsh Wizard facing the wrong way at the first chicane. Not sure what's happened there, if he's just given it a bootful or contact on the way in. But round goes Oscar Williams. As I was saying though, Alex Cochrane and Agnes Rositis might just be a bit off the pace in comparison to usual because they are doing a Le Mans 24-hour in R Factor 2 this weekend. So, as much as they love Trout, I'm sure more practice would have gone into that. even if they are getting paid, on board with Agnes Rositis now in a, oh, that's a very different TC Esports livery. They was in red last season, now it's white and gold, but can't say I don't like it. Looking very nice from TC Esports. And, well, this is great stuff from them both. There's Anthony Penn in P17 also making the progression up from Challenger Split in the Griffin Gaming Ultra car. Again, Griffin Gaming, a team who should be turning up with a few more cars than this. It's a very full grid. It's much more full than the Challenger Split race, but we are still missing a few drivers. We are obviously missing one of the Octan cars. Oh, and that's Hygo Pumov! That's Pum off the road! Hygo Pum from P3! Again at the chicane! That is huge! Batata up into the podium positions, but Hygo Pum from P3 after a super impressive qualifying drops down to 17th. Oh, what a shame on Hygo Pum's trout return. Oh, disaster there for him. Oh, that is a big shame for Hygo Pum. I'm sure he'll be trying to fight his way back through. Oh, and that is a big kerfuffle. Dave Brave off as well. In the Volpino Arctico kart. As I was saying, we are missing a few cars here and there. We are missing the Volpino Racing. We've got the junior team Volpino Arctico here, but not the actual main team. We are missing one of the TT Esports Academy cars in Dmitry Kamashov. But to be fair, Maxi Younger has replaced him for this race, even though he's been on a massive bender. He'll probably still be fantastic anyway, because that's what Maxi Younger does. He is magical after all. We are also missing Colombo Griffiths from Griffin Gaming Ultra. And, well, I think we are Griffin Gaming Red. We missed out on them in the Challenger Split. Ooh, Halligan going slow there. Giovanni Morum gets past Halligan, so he's had a problem. I think a lot of people, well, we saw in the Challenger Split, there was people struggling with the lack of rear downforce in this car compared to last season. Of course, this new 2021 car is significantly less downforce. There's been a lot of changes to the floor, so the rear is a lot more loose. A lot of people were struggling with that in the Challenger Split. Potentially they're struggling with that in the Master Split as well. And Halligan just getting a bit of understeer from the dirty air as well. Onto the main straight. And, well, he's doing his very best at the moment, but I'm wondering if those tyres might be a bit cooked if he's had an off somewhere. And that is one thing to consider. Andrea Shielder has closed right back up to Reese. Sorry, Kilgore, were you going to say something there?
I was just going to say the exact same thing as you. Shielder went faster than Ermus in the last lap, and he's just gone purple in the first sector here. Did I just say Shielder's gone faster than Andreas? So he's gone faster than himself. So I meant Ermus.
There you go,
Yeah.
Got there in the end. Yeah, this is the Andrea Shielder that we only really saw glimpses of last season. You know, the Season 7 champion. Oh, he actually had a look to the outside there into the left-right chicane. Wow, that could have been a bit deadly. Yeah, very, very tight there from Shielder and Reese. Shielder pushing very hard at this phase in the race. He's seen... Oh, no, Reese runs wide! Shielder takes the lead. Reese gets it wrong on the exit of the corner, runs wide, and Andrea Shielder goes into the lead of the race. Will Reese take that, though? No, Shielder, Reese has gone off again! Reese has overcooked it again in the penultimate corner. I don't believe it. Ermus Reese one's right in the CRG car. Shielder leads the race. Drama here on lap 6 of the Younger GP Australian Grand Prix. Round 1 of the Formula Trout Premier Series. Season 9 here in the Master Split. And my oh my. It is all just fallen into Andrea Shielder's hands. David Halligan will have the DRS on Giovanni Morum. Look at the run he's already getting. Having to go the long way around the outside. Will he get the switch back? I don't think he will. Giovanni is very good at defending. Of course, this is his first Master Split race after taking the Constructors' crown with Bag Motorsport in the Challenger Split last season. But he's putting on a fantastic display. Currently running P5. That is awesome stuff from Giovanni. David Halligan, a seasoned Master Split driver, running his own team this season, DHF1. Or I can only presume it's his own team because it's got his initials in the name. And he is, well, he's desperately trying to find his way past the Brazilian in front. But as it stands, he's just stuck behind the bad car. You can see there, these cars, lots of rear movement, especially in comparison to last season. Jordi Lauis as well has made up some big places on the first few laps in the TC Esports car. Obviously, he moved across from Nova Finlandia this season to TC. Clearly a move that's suiting him okay at the moment. Currently running P8. Militalo in P9 as well. Not bad from him. Yeah. And well, we've just been told in my ear that we're going to try a replay, which is exciting. Halligan has just got past Amorim there on the run into turn 1. We're going to try a replay. We don't know if this is going to work, but give it a go. I'm hoping it works. Well, just let me know if it works or not, Kilgore. But, well, Halligan up to P5 from Amorim, but Amorim, the feisty young lad that he is, I don't think he's going to let that happen just yet. And, well, there we can see a replay of the race start, as it's quite literally just Windows. Well, that works as a replay, but well, I'll just have to. It works. I'll give it that. Well, there's things going on at the moment on track, and there is a replay of the start. Yeah, baby. That's what we're talking about. What a start we saw from Ermes Rees away. Really great. Second phase, much better than Andrea Shielder. On the run down into turn 1, it was all clean from the opening, guys. There was a Volpino Arctica car ran wide. This is awesome. We got replays. Nice. And that was a Nova Finlandia car sliding sideways. I think that was Max Hammerlink going sideways there, our reigning champion. Yeah, German obviously not enjoying life down under. Yeah, I'm loving this replay stuff. This is brilliant. You've got a replay graphic. We're so cool. Anyway, to the action. Hopefully, anyway. No, we're still in the opening lap. Apologies. I thought we'd cut back to the actual thing then for a moment. There we can see that was Ermes Rees getting a lightning start away. Great stuff from him. And there we are now back, and now I can't see anything. There we go, now I can see things again. Again, work in progress. That is the first time we have done a replay here at Formula Trout, so it worked. I will give it that. It's not an instant replay, but it's a replay of the race start. And you know what? I think we'll take it. That is the first time we've had a replay here. I'm very happy with it. Kilgore seems to be pretty happy with it as well. I will take it. So yeah, that is not bad at all. On board with Paul Magzai as he's trying to close in with Batata ahead. Batata on his return to Formula Trout, currently running a P3. Oh, I think Giovanni Amorim might have gone round. Possibly. Yeah, he's just lost a lot of positions. Yeah, he's off the side of the road. Giovanni Amorim having issues there. Sanford now into the top 10 for Oxtan. Back on board with Magzai. He will have DRS in the DHF1. He's pushing, he's pushing, he's pushing. Can he have a look down the inside? No, he can't. Paul Magzai, obviously a two-time champion in Formula Trout. The only back-to-back champion we've ever had in Formula Trout. 8 wins to his name, running that number 22 car. Let's see if he can work his way onto the podium. Oh, no! Oh, that's Rees Ram! That's Rees Ram from second! That is Ermes Rees Ram from second! The pole sitter has made another mistake. And the Estonian Ermes Rees has gone round again and isn't moving. I wonder... Oh, he DNFs! Oh, and what a shame. What a shame. Pole sitter Ermes Rees, who now is the holder of the total lap record around here in a Formula Trout race with a 118.334 to take pole position out of the race on lap 9, our first retirement of the night in the Master Split. Shielder now has 6 seconds to Batata behind. Magzai is promoted onto the podium. Hygo Poomsdeely back in the points. Fair play. That was also a bit of track extension. Oh, that's Ilitalo round. So I think potentially Taiwo starting to come in here. The Golf Racing Club driver facing the wrong way. No points awarded for guessing what that livery is inspired by. But, oh, no! Oh, just gives it a bootful again. That is one thing that's really tricky with these Formula Hybrid cars from Race Sim Studios is the tires. If you spin once, they are cooked. And a lot of people, you know, they're desperate to get back on track. They give it a bootful and they spin again because the tires are just cooked. It's a big shame, but you know, it's easily done in the heat at the moment, and that's what Ilatalo's done there. Magzai going aggressive on Batatu. Might be having a look up the inside. This would be a very impressive overtake if he pulls it off. He does pull it off. Paul Magzai with a spectacular move there. Up to P2 goes the Irishman. And Batatu's probably left. Oh, Cyprian Stoyan as well. That's the other Golf Racing car. My oh my, they're all going sideways today, aren't they? Everyone's still trying to find their feet, I think. I know people were complaining they were struggling with the track here. Everyone was just saying they weren't too comfortable, or a lot of drivers anyway, saying they weren't comfortable with Albert Park. They just weren't finding the rhythm, weren't enjoying it. And obviously with this new car as well, there's a lack of downforce on the rear massively compared to last year. So you turn in and there's just less rear grip. Timing screen's having a moment, please don't ignore that. It says Mustafa Moradi's just jumped a million places, but he hasn't. But yeah, round go the two Golf Racing guys. Magzai up to second with a phenomenal move round Batata. Super brave up the inside. Shielder's got 8 seconds now to the Irishman behind him. Hammerlink and Williams moving up as well. Hammerlink, obviously reigning champion this season. Max the Master Hammerlink, as I referred to him last season, because he was just that good. He was coming from the back of the grid this race. Did have a back of grid penalty that he carried over from the last race in Brazil. From corner cutting and qualifying. And actually, I know I did mention this earlier, but it's we do have a live steward now for this race. So Christoph Berzer is live steward for this race. So we didn't have a live steward over in the challenge, but we do have one for Master Split, which is great stuff to see. On board with Mustafa Moradi, one of the up and coming talents. He was an absolute firecracker last season. He actually took a race win at Hungary, I believe, if I remember correctly. Took pole position as well for Volpino with a fantastic performance. He's now over at Yinger GP, which is, I think, the perfect move for the young Iranian. And he's doing a fantastic job. Hygo Poom trying to find his way past Dave Southern on his return as well. Obviously, Hygo spun earlier on. And again, a driver I'm much more used to seeing over in R Factor 2 circles. He's also a cameraman over it. Oh my goodness me! Wow! Southern round right in front of us! Hygo Poom, that was a real bum-clenching moment. That could have been a huge accident. Great avoiding action there from the Estonian.
Man, it looked like he took a lot of damage there, but, you know, at the same time, Hygo just got off scot-free. Like, I feel
that was great.
Yeah, I mean, I feel sorry for the likes of Southwood, who's in a good position. But yeah, I mean, well done for Pom for avoiding that one.
Yeah, Hygo Poom, great job with the avoiding action there. Yeah, that was awesome from Hygo Poom, from the number 69 driver. Again, I was just saying, I'm much more used to seeing him over in a R Factor 2 circles, and he's also the my camera operator in a GPVWC. But it's yeah, great to see him back here in Trout, and he's doing an awesome job so far. Obviously unlucky with that spin earlier. Dave Southard falling another victim, it seems, to not understanding how the rear of this car works, as many a driver do. There goes Max Hammerlink up the inside, obviously with his new team at Nova Finlandia. Obviously Vermin deciding not to enter this season, so Hammerlink left looking for a new place to drive, and Nova Finlandia were more than accepting. And well, it's he's come from the back as well, another driver carrying a grid penalty from the last race last season at Brazil. But he's back up into P10. Lawis and Southern have come into the pits. So we're seeing our first few pit stops here, lap 30 to 40. Also, I'm just going to apologise now if I start coughing in a second, because my throat starts to go. I've got a cold. I have got a bottle of water, but I'm just going to take a quick drink. I do apologise. Oh, sorry. Extremely unprofessional of me. But I am half dying. It's not COVID. I've done a billion tests. I went to Reading Festival. Oh no, that's Shielder! Shielder's right for the lead! I don't believe it! Race leader Andrea Shielder goes round. That's the second time we've seen the leader go round. We saw it with Reese earlier. Now it's Andrea Shielder. Paul Magsi goes to the lead. Shielder's off the podium places. So yet another victim. These drivers just really struggling with the new floor. They can't get to grips with it. They just think the downforce is going to be there. The rear grip's going to be there, and it isn't. Shielder immediately into the pit lane. I want to see what tyre he goes on to. Oh, so we've just cut away anyway. But Magsi back in the lead now. Well, Magsi into the lead, apologies. That's the first time the Irishman's been in the lead for a while. Didn't take any race wins last season.
I'm going to guess that Shielder goes on to the C2. And yeah, he has done.
So Shielder onto the White Wall C2s. That's one of the harder compounds, right? There is an even harder compound than that, and we did actually see someone running it in the Challenger split, but it's not often the best race tyre in the world.
I got a lot of feedback from the drivers. They were saying that's the preferred tyre, in fact, the C2.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, like if you remember Ward in the Challenger race, he was flying on that tyre. I think he set faster laps than his qualifying. I could be wrong.
Well,
I think
last season the C3 was the tyre to be on. So maybe this year it's the C2 with the new cars.
Maybe. I think it might just be this track. I don't know. I'll have to get more feedback from the guys.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we'll just have to see. As we are on board with Batata, the American driver, returning to Trout, currently running P2. Lap 15 or 40 here in race 1 of the Formula Trout Premier Series Master Split Season 9 here at Albert Park in Melbourne, Australia. Welcome along if you are just joining us. And, well, if you haven't already on the Twitch stream, make sure you do click follow. Are we live on YouTube? I think well, Reece Jr. hasn't been the nicest to us recently, so I'm not sure if we're live on YouTube. If you are live on YouTube, hello, click like and subscribe. If we're not live on YouTube, oh well. Yeah, welcome along if you are watching on Twitch anyway. And if you haven't already, do click follow. It does help out everybody here at Trout. A lot of effort goes into organising and broadcasting these events and these championships. And it really is appreciated. And of course, it's one thing to note as well that it's obviously this is the first race of a new season, so you can come in and join us for all the fun. You don't have to catch up on anything whatsoever, and you can also come and join the Discord if you're new. Find out you can come in and find out how you want to get involved. As that's on board with Maxi Junger, having a look down the inside of Jordi Lauwers, decides against it again. Maxi Junger is probably still drunk at this point, and yeah, he's only in for this one race anyway. He's supposed to be on a sabbatical, so yeah, he's probably very tired and still drunk, to be honest, but he's doing a good job anyway. Again, the magical Maxi Junger himself, the German driver, is well, yeah, on a sabbatical after a huge effort to take the Sprint Series Championship, the other series that we run in Formula Trout, and that we are doing a season of at the moment, actually. Running an IndyCar Championship. It was supposed to be on this weekend, but actually this got in the way, so we postponed it another week. And it's good fun. The last race was crazy. Had an awesome race at Michigan International. I would go back and watch it if you can. It was absolutely mental. Lots of access. Oh, Toby Sanford round. Toby Sanford drops to P6. P7 now. Gets going again. Oh, Hammerlink might get past as well. Sanford is a smart race though, so he won't spin again. Oh, Giovanni Amorum's gone round as well. That's the second time Amorum's gone round this race. And Anthony Penn hasn't gone round actually, we're just swapping cameras to him. Sanford though is one of the smarter drivers on the grid. So he knows not to push the car if he's spun once. I've never seen him ever spin twice when trying to rejoin a circuit, because he knows you don't push the car. He knows exactly how to drive it. He knows when to push, when not to push, what to do. If you say, oh, that's someone having a big accident, and that is Oscar Williams. The Welsh Wizard has run out of magic there. Tarek Batata into the pits. I'm honestly not sure at this stage whether it's people running out of tyres or it's just the rear of the cars is starting to get to people. Sanford dives in immediately. Very good call there from the Brit. Hammerlink moves up to P6. And Tarek Batata running out now. It comes out in P5 behind Benoit and Poom. and David Halligan as well. So it's currently a DHF 1-1-2. Who would have seen that one coming? Yeah, new team on the block with Paul Magzire, 2-time champion, 8-time winner here in Trout, and David Halligan, a long-time player in Formula Trout Master Split. And they are running 1-2 here in Australia as we approach halfway. And it's Tarek Batata, who's been doing a very good job so far. Well, Kilgore, seeing as you're here, again, this seems like a good time. So, well, I've said a bit about Trout, but you're obviously the league founder, league owner, as Paul Magzire pits from the lead. This seems like a good chance to ask you, what is Trout? So, how would you explain Trout to anybody new that's watching along today?
Good question. I mean, this league is all about just having fun. It's all about being a community. It's all about getting involved in any way possible. You know, just even if you're just a content creator. You know, some of these guys create some of the funniest memes out there. You know, post race from all the incidents that go on. You know, I think it's just a massive community of people who have similar interests, and be it racing or whatever. There's so much going on.
I think that's very well summed up. Again, it is a wonderful, wonderful community. As I said in the Challenger Split race, I probably wouldn't still be here if it wasn't a very fun community with very fun racing on as well. But don't let that fool you either. It is still a very, very serious championship. Of course, it is the premier single-seater Assetto Corsa League. It is if Kilgore starts laughing, ignore him because he probably thinks I'm talking a load of rubbish. But it is where the best of the best come in Assetto Corsa single-seater racing. And well, David Halligan will box from the lead. I think it will be Magzire retaking the lead after this. I'm not sure where Halligan's going to come out though, because Simon Benoit hasn't boxed yet, but is in P3. So Halligan could be encountering a little bit of traffic here. Batata has encountered said traffic. He does need to clear Benoit in the TC Academy car. And there is Halligan.
This is really...
C2s.
Sorry, this is really important to see. Oh, they've already overtaken him. Never mind. I thought he'd be coming out of the pits a bit faster.
Yeah, Halligan, I think he might have lost a bit of time there in the pit lane. It's now Magzire from Batata from Max Hammerlink, who hasn't boxed yet, but the reigning champion up to P3 from the back of the grid. I think he's running the number one. He is running the number one. There you go. Running the bright yellow number one in his car. There's Mustafa Moradi as well, coming from the back. Up to P6. Mustafa, a very, very quick driver and definitely one to watch for the future. He will be winning races this season, I can assure you. And Haga Poom, well, if this race has been anything to go off, he's had a few spins, but the performance has been a solid one. And well, as he's trying to find his way through, there's our camera car. Hello, Kilgore. So we're not running the Mercedes GT3 this year, in case you're wondering. We're actually just running the regular Mercedes SLS road car. We're not as cool. We've downgraded, ran out of money. Batata up to P2 though now. Benoit has come into the pits.
Batata's doing a brilliant job of holding off Hammerlink as well, I must say.
Yeah, he is. I mean, obviously Hammerlink again, reigning champion. He's no slouch.
Yeah, I know Hammerlink though. If he wants to win a championship, he'd have put in the laps pre-season and got that car set up how he wants. I don't think we've seen him like at his true peak performance at the moment. But third, he's still third. So
yeah, I mean, it may not be peak performance, but it's still phenomenal stuff. A driver we have seen at peak performance, I think, is Andrea Shielder, who, despite a few spins, has been phenomenal so far. He just set the fastest lap of the race, a 1:20.7, which is a very, very quick lap indeed.
Yeah, he's definitely recharged his batteries after having a bit of an off moment. He is likely to contend for the podium, but I don't know. Maybe, I don't know, actually. Thinking about it, Magzire isn't that far ahead.
Well, you never know. Shielder is a very quick driver, of course. He is a champion here in Formula Trout, and is, I believe he's second on the all-time win list. I will double check that. I've got the win list written down somewhere. think he's second on the, yeah, he is second on the all-time win list with 13 wins to his name. And he is obviously season 7 champion.
Please send me that list. That sounds like a very important list.
Go ask Max Yinger. Max Yinger sent it to me and it was wrong, and then I've changed it to be right, I think. But it is a helpful list to have. And of course, Max Yinger does have 21 wins, so he is the most successful driver in Trout. But again, he's not racing this season. He's doing this one race to fill in for someone, because he is reserve over at TC Academy. But he is taking a sabbatical this season. That being said, Alex Cochrane certainly isn't taking a sabbatical over with his new team of Griffin Gaming. Jan Dragoon goes off the road and very nearly takes Alex Cochrane with him. But you can't stop the clock, but Jan Dragoon very nearly did then. And it nearly took out Alex. Manages to get going again.
Nearly took out
another sorry,
I was going to say he nearly took out a lot of other people as well. These drivers doing 180 degree spins on the spot really makes my butt clench.
Well, he's fallen down to P12. Jan Dragoon, though, another driver I've got pinned for a race win this season. Yinger GP, of course, this is, well, I mean, I'm not talking about them because it's the Yinger GP Australian Grand Prix. It is, in fact, the Yinger GP Australian Grand Prix. They're sponsoring this race. But it's that is a driver lineup for the future. Toby Sanford having a go. He's another driver I reckon could do quite well this season, of course. Came and made it. Did one race in the Challenger split last season, then found his way into your team, Kilgore, after one. Actually, why did you sign him after one race? That's a bold move. I've always wanted to ask you that question.
I think you have, to be honest. I mean,
I probably have, but you know.
I signed him. I needed a driver more than anything. But it was a choice between him and Moradi at the time, and I just heard good stuff about him. So I guess that's the reason I went with him. Moradi not doing too bad though. I'm sure Toby will bounce back. I know he's having wheel problems at the moment. Hopefully that's not the reason why he's spun out in this race. Oh, hopefully it is. I don't know.
Well, you know, Toby's he put in a lot of improvement across last season. Ran in the podium places a couple times. Didn't actually get any podiums, but was up there a few times. I remember at Portimao for the Portuguese Grand Prix, he was running really strongly and then actually had an internet disconnect, which was super unlucky. But what can you do in those scenarios? Here goes Andrea Shielder back past Max Hammerlink. It is the previous two champions fighting each other for P3. And it is Shielder that comes out on top in that battle. And there's a car off the to the inside there. I think that's Ilitalo there. I want to say, I'm not too sure, but yeah, car off to the inside there, coming into the last few corners. But Andrea Shielder back up to P3. He will be one of the championship contenders this season. I know we've been making calls here and there, but he's super quick. And as well, a thing you often find here in Formula Trout is you find drivers will, if they win a championship the next season, they typically won't perform as well. It sounds strange, but you know, I've heard, you know, certain things about how much effort it takes to win a Formula Trout championship. Of course, you know, we're a very fun-loving community. Lots of, you know, the main reason we're here is fun, but it is the most competitive Formula One style league on Assetto Corsa. So it's it takes a lot of effort and practice to win a championship, and then a lot of drivers just suffer from burnout, and they get to the season after, and they just do not have the motivation. They've won the championship. I think Shielder suffered from that a little bit last season as well, the domination of Hammerlink and Vermin. I think that came into play. They were just unbelievably strong last season. Hammerlink took like half the wins or something. I can double check that here actually. Hammerlink, if I go find my cool list, yeah, he's got 8 wins. And he's, I think like 6 or 5 of them were all last season. He was absolutely dominant in the championship, wrapped it up like 2 races early or something stupid as Halligan gets past Hammerlink as well, and then dives into the pits. So what we may be seeing, as you said, Hammerlink may just not be quite putting in the effort that he what would do if he was fully committed to this championship. He might be taking this year just a little bit easier. He's already won 1 championship. However, Shielder, he's taken his season off. He's been bashed around a little bit by the master Max Hammerlink. And now he's ready to come back fighting. So I think he will be a contender for this championship for sure. Oscar Williams has, well, it's not been it's not been going his way so far this race. Obviously, the Welsh Wizard is ridiculously quick, but I know he's not a particularly big fan of these Formula Hybrid cars. But stick him in anything else and he will, you know, be quick. He's obviously very, very competitive over in our Sprint Series, the other championship we won here at Trout, which returns next weekend on a Sunday night, it is, isn't it? Next weekend on Sunday night. And we should be heading over to Wisconsin for Road America, which should be very exciting, of course, running an IndyCar style series with the VRC Formula North America 2021 cars, which, if you couldn't tell, are based off the 2021 IndyCars. And we just came off a magnificent race as well at Michigan International, where we had about 20 drivers in the commentary booth at the end. There was like, everyone was hitting the wall at some point. It was crazy stuff. And thoroughly enjoyed it. Here is Agnes Rositis, our reigning Challenger Split champion. Obviously got the call up to TC Esports main team in the Master Split this season. And excited to see what he's got on offer. Currently running P11 just outside the points. Another driver showing a lot of promise, already got a lot of talent on him as well. The Latvian driver. I'm excited for him. He's got a good teammate alongside him as well, in Ermes Rees, who obviously was leading this race earlier before he... not Ermes Rees, apologies. I'm talking out of my bumhole. It's not Ermes Rees who's alongside him. It is, hang on, it's not Ermes Rees. It is Jordi Lauwers. That's the one I was aiming for. Jordi Lauwers is a very talented driver, though. Currently running in P7. He did get a podium last year, I think, I want to say. Again, this season I'm starting to take the note-taking absolutely properly. So we will have... I mean, actually, no, I can check. I got given a list, didn't I? Kilgore, you gave me your list earlier. I can check if Jordi won anything last season.
Jordi? I don't think so. And I apologise if he did. I apologise, but going off the top of my head,
I think he might have got a podium somewhere.
Maybe in the Challenger Split, but I don't know.
Oh, we'll have a look. Jordi Lauwers. Oh no, he didn't. I lied. I'll check the Challenger Split anyway. And he didn't do the Challenger Split. Okay, I lied. But Jordi Lauwers is a good driver anyway. I like him a lot. I'm a big fan of what he does. Halligan getting done by Andrea Shielder there for P3. Can he hold it around the outside? No, he can't. It's Andrea Shielder. No offence to Dave, but Andreas is one of the finest talents we've got here in Formula Trout, and while Halligan is no slouch, he's also no Andrea Shielder. That being said, there's been a good performance so far from Halligan, and teammate Paul Magzar currently leading this race for his new team DHF1. What a fairy tale that would be if they could win on debut. Of course, still 14 laps left to go here, so I'm not going to say anything just yet. Yeah, David Halligan. Oh, and Oscar Williams goes around again. And he's made contact with someone as well. Is that Anthony Penn he's got off with?
I think it was, it looked like Agnes Rositis. Because he was literally on his tail. I was about to, switch over to him, and then, that happened.
Yeah, you are right. That was Agnes Rositis making contact with Oscar Williams. Ilitalo goes off as well, I think. Yes, he does in the Golf Racing car at the Finn. Going sideways out of turn 3. And Halligan respond with the DRS to Andrea Shielder. You can see already the slipstream that he's getting down the main straight. And they're all wide from Shielder actually, so if he can get a good run up here, Halligan might be able to give it a go into turn 3. He's already got the overtake button firmly pressed down. Pulls out the slipstream early though. And I won't get the switchback done. So it will be Shielder holding on to P3 for the time being. But yeah, let me, to put it into context, Max Hammerlink won the championship last season. He won, so he's got 8 race wins to his name, does Max Hammerlink. He won 7 of them last season. 7. That is ridiculous. Shielder did take 2 wins last season, to be fair, which is not bad at all. Hammerlink also took 5 fastest laps. No, 6, sorry. But he took 5 in a row at one point, which is, again, very impressive. Mustafa Moradi as well took that win in Hungary after a great drive. And I don't think anybody expected him to be taking a win so early into his Trout career. He will be one to watch for this season alongside Jandrick and that younger GP squad. I am telling you. Oh my goodness me, big wobble for Halligan on the last corner.
Yeah, that was a good catch from him.
Yeah, apologies there. My throat is not enjoying life at the minute. But yeah, great save from David Halligan. I mean, he used to be one of your drivers. You anything positive to say about Dave, or do you hate him now or something?
No. I mean, you know, he had a knack for stamping on the brakes to stabilize his car. So hopefully that's not how he just saved his car from oversteer, because that will take life out of the tires, obviously. But other than that, you know, he's a persistent driver. You know, as you can see, he can smell a podium, and he needs a podium. I think just that's unfortunately the one thing that got in his head last season, is that he was podiumless. So yeah, to get that from Andreas of all people, that'll mean a lot to him.
Well, he's all over the gearbox of Andrea Shielder at the moment, so that may be a possibility. With 12 laps to go here in the Formula Trout Premier Series Masters, but round 1 of Season 9 here at Albert Park in Melbourne for the Younger GP Australian Grand Prix. And currently this battle for third place hotting up as Halligan sticking on the tail of Andrea Shielder. And, well, it's been an exciting race so far. Alex Cochrane's got up to 5th. Wow, fair enough. He's come from a long way. Oh, and Magzar's gone around. Batata takes the lead. We didn't quite catch that, but the leader once again. That's I think the 3rd time the driver in the lead has gone round. Batata now leads this race. On his return to Formula Trout, Tarek Batata, the American, is sitting in 1st place. Phenomenal scenes here in Australia. Paul Magzar, what happened to him? Did he just make a mistake? Did he get caught out by the rear of the car?
I think so, yeah.
Unbelievable.
I think he had enough of a gap to Batata. Obviously not enough to rectify the issue, but yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, very unfortunate for Paul Magzar. But yeah, Batata to the lead. Shielder as well is now not far off Magzar, so maybe now the pressure just getting to the Irishman a bit. We know that everyone's been struggling with the new floor that these cars have. Obviously, there's a lot less cars on cars. There's a lot less downforce on these cars, should I rather, than the 2020 car because of the changes to the floor. Obviously, these Racing Studios Formula Hybrid 2021 cars based off of the 2021 Formula 1 regulations. So that includes the new changes to the floor that they've got this season. And, oh no! Who was that going round?
That was Magzar again, same place.
It was Magzar. Same place as last time. Magzar makes the same mistake and drops to 4th. I don't believe it. So it's Shielder and Halligan now on the podium together. That becomes a fight for 2nd. Magzar, same place, same mistake. Unbelievable stuff. And well, DHF1 have gone from fighting for a race win to fighting for a podium. Huge shame for Paul Magzar, who has been awesome so far this race. Oh no, Shielder!
Oh, what?
Oh my goodness me! Andrea Shielder on the curb, and it has just spat him out. I don't know if he made contact with the barrier on the inside, but Andrea Shielder has just been stent. Oh, and he's gone around again. The tyres are cooked. Alex Cochrane might get him here. His teammate might get him. Cochrane on his Griffin Gaming debut. Hygo Poom's on the back of Cochrane as it is. Hygo Poom might be going to challenge for the podium once again. Shielder is into the pits.
This has opened up for so many people.
This has just become pure chaos in the last 2 laps. Suddenly this race has been blown wide open.
And I've just noticed Max Hammerlink obviously pitted before, so he's not to be counted out as Hygo Pom goes down the outside. Doesn't quite make the move stick, unfortunately, but yeah.
Hygo Poom is pushing really, really hard Yeah, this race suddenly has taken a very dramatic twist.
Oh!
Boom goes round again. Oh, he's going to almost collect whoever that was. That was Hammerlink.
Yeah, his
Almost
teammate.
collected his teammate, Hammerlink. Oh my goodness me. Hammerlink goes up to 5th. This race has just become so dramatic. Magzire goes round. Shielder goes round. Poom goes round again.
Oscar goes round.
Yeah, Oscar's been around about 20 times.
Ouch.
We know that the drivers have been struggling with the rear ends of these cars. We know that there's not as much downforce as last season. But the car feels similar, so you turn in and you expect there to be grip and there isn't. But this is ridiculous. This is worse than the Challenger split. There was less spins in the Challenger split than this. That just shows how fast these guys are going, how much these Master Split guys are pushing. They are absolutely on the limit. On board with Mustafa Moradi, he has come from the back of the grid after a penalty. And he is doing very well so far in race 1 of this season. His first race for Younger GP as well. He might get a bit of a run here on Jordi Lewis. And Benoit in front could be going for a triple overtake. He thinks about it, decides against it. It's just going to be Lewis on Benoit in front. We get a first-person perspective of what's going on there. TC Esports versus TC Academy, white versus black.
I mean, technically they're all Maxi's teams.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean half the grid is Max's teams anyway, to be honest. But TC Esports and CRG Racing and Younger GP, and the Younger GP is getting Moradi's off the road.
That was a rookie mistake right there.
Yeah, too late on the brakes for Mustafa Moradi. He is quick, but he still has much to learn. And that was case in point, and he's got all that work to do again to catch up to the back of Simon Benoit. And Halligan and Magzire currently holding formation in P2 and 3. And that's Anthony Penn, who's just DNF from the race there. Shame for him. He was running down the back, unfortunately, but still a shame to lose him. Of course, Anthony Penn. Oh, Hammerlink's gone off the road. Cochrane gets past. So, Cochrane, over at Griffin Gaming, and Hammerlink, the man who replaced him at Nova Finlandia, they've swapped places there. Max Hammerlink's gone off the road at turn 1. So yeah, even more scenes here in Australia, my goodness me. Yeah, big shame there for Anthony Penn, the only Griffin Gaming Ultra car out there tonight, the American driver. Obviously just not having a good night tonight. But you could say the same about many things. I'm sure there is going to be a long list of complaints after this race in the Discord. And again, if you haven't joined the Discord, do come along. That is where you find out how to get involved with the league, where you can talk to the drivers, get involved with the community. And if you haven't clicked follow already on Twitch, please make sure you do so to miss out on no more of the action. It really does help us all out here on Formula Trout. As we're coming into the dying stages of this race, reigning champion Max Hammerlink, he's come from the back of the grid. And he's trying to overtake the driver he replaced, Alex Cochrane. After he's made a mistake, Cochrane having a great race at his new team, Griffin Gaming. Andrea Shielder, his teammate, was leading earlier, span out. Hammerlink span out. Magzire span out from the lead. Hammerlink super aggressive with the DRS and the ERS. That's a huge battery dump. Can't get past Cochrane though. Matata has got 6 seconds roughly as a lead on his return to Formula Trout for DAC. That is absolutely crazy. The amount, we've had a lot of leaders this race, haven't we? We've had Shielder, Reese, Magzire, Batata. There's been a lot of people in the lead of this race, and every single one of them so far, bar Batata, has span. Absolutely crazy stuff here in the dying phases of the Formula Trout Premier Series Master Split. Hammerlink tries to go around the outside of Cochrane, strawing alongside still, and he's going to get the inside. He'll get the move done into the penultimate corner. Hammerlink goes up to P4, the reigning champion. It's been a fantastic performance from Hammerlink so far, from the back of the grid as well. He's worked his way up without even trying. Well, we say without trying, of course he's tried, but he's not put in as much effort as he has last season, let me say that much. And, well, on board with Alex Cochrane in the Griffin Gaming car, overtaken by the man who took his empty place at Nova Finlandia.
Sorry to cut across, but Hammerlink raced at Vermin.
Yeah, well, yeah, I said he raced at Vermin, didn't I?
No, he's Griffin.
No, I was saying that he replaced Alex, because Alex was at Nova Finlandia.
Oh yeah, I get you now. My bad.
No, it's fine. I got there in the end. Yeah. No,
I'm gonna shut up now.
no, it's fine. Your input is always appreciated, sir. But yeah, just to clarify any confusion, Alex Cochrane was at Nova Finlandia last season, went over to Griffin Gaming this season. Max Hammerlink was at Vermin. Vermin haven't entered the team this season, and he has gone and taken Alex Cochrane's place at Nova Finlandia. And coming from the back of the grid, that is not bad at all. There is Jordi Lauis, who was also at Nova Finlandia last season, for a few races anyway. If I pull up my graph, which I have now because I'm really cool, and yeah, it was Cochrane and Jordi Lauis over at Nova Finlandia. Ain't bad at all. And Cochrane actually got 2 podiums at the back end of last season. 3rd place in Hungary and Brazil. Well, he'll be looking to carry that form into this season. A 5th place is not a bad start. Mustafa Moradi, well, he came from the back again. Obviously, he had a back of grid penalty, so I can understand, but he's had a few spins. It is not what he would have wanted, especially when he could have done so much more. Again, a very talented driver, but still inexperienced. He did, of course, take that win at Hungary, but his last race last season for Volpino, he did not finish that event in Brazil. So he's coming in with a fresh slate, I suppose, as he goes around the outside of Jordi Lauis there using the slingshot. And, well, we've got DRS down here as well, but it is still actually it's still Moradi who had it at the activation point. Of course, the activation point is before the DRS zone, and that is when it's decided whether you get the DRS for the car in front, whether you're in the second of the car in front. Very well held by Jordi Lauis. Woo! That was all sorts of sideways coming through the penultimate corner. Wow. That's a great save on camera. That is one for the scrapbook. That is awesome save from Jordi Lauis. That could have been one of those lazy spins that you get in single-seater cars, of course. In kind of top-level single-seaters, you kind of get 2 types of spins. You get the ones where you just get immediately spat out with the downforce stalls. You get very awkward, very lazy spins, and that was that one, and he managed to save it superbly. Oscar Williams has got past Andrea Shielder for P11, meanwhile, as Moradi still chasing down Benoit. The Iranian driver doing everything he can to get P7 at least. As Tommy Ilitalo DNFs. Oh, Maxi Younger DNF'd apparently as well. I didn't see that. That didn't pop up. Where that black bar is at the top of your screen, where it says race, and there's like the scrolly thing. We can obviously there's pop-ups there for us, so we can see what's going on. Maxi Younger's DNF did not pop up. Apologies for that. So I did miss that. But Maxi Younger has retired from what I presume is his one and only appearance this season. It'll be 3 laps to go for these guys at the line. Lap 38 of 40. Oh, Benoit defensive. Moradi to the outside. Oh, that was easy. I was prepared to get all excited. Who's going to be later on the brakes? Who's going to be later on the brakes out of this, though? Shielder to the inside of the Welsh Wizard. Gets the move done before the corner. There goes Andrea Shielder. Oscar Williams down to P12. These guys are like, they're fighting for outside the points. I've never thought I'd be saying that. Shielder and Oscar Williams are 2 of the finest drivers that Formula Track has to offer. They're fighting for 11th place. That just shows how crazy this race has been. Just people getting used to the new car, I suppose. Obviously, you're so used to hit, especially in Trout, you know, come back to a car with more downforce each season, especially last season when we jumped from the proposed 2022 car, the Formula Hybrid X 2022, which obviously has barely any downforce compared to these. And then jumped last season into the 2020 car, which has bucket loads of downforce. And then these have significantly less downforce than last season. So it's, I guess it's a bit of a wake-up call for a lot of the drivers this race. Even with all the hours of practice that they would have put in. And it's just been crazy stuff. And that is why Andrea Shielder and Oscar Williams are fighting for P11. And Benoit is actually already outside of DRS range of Moradi. So Moradi shot off into the distance. It was a second, he was over a second lap quicker on that last lap. 1.3 seconds faster. Andrea Shielder with the fastest lap of 1:19.826. That is a new lap record. Just in case you're wondering. And he takes back 0.8. Sorry, I've just got to take that down just in case that is the lap record. Because again, I am now taking Trout lap records. So I'm not just going off of what Wikipedia says the fastest F1 lap around here is. I am actually taking it down. And he did previously hold that record actually. Except he was under the name James May for reasons I'm not quite sure. But he previously hold the lap record around here with a 1:20.721. But he's absolutely smashed that. A 1:19.826. He is flying at the moment, is Shielder, all over the back of Toby Sanford already. It's the final lap of the race for the leader. Can Sanford hold on to that final points position? I'm not sure. Shielder's going to get DRS down here. He's going to pull to the outside. Can Sanford break later on the inside? He's going to have to be aggressive with Shielder. Tries to push him out. Shielder, I think, actually may have backed out there, so he will do so. And these guys will start one lap to go with Sanford in front. Oh, Shielder actually had to bang on the anchors there in the mid-corner because Sanford is just super defensive. Already breaking the toe, but Shielder's got the DRS. He's got the hybrid boost. That is as easy as they come. Shielder moves to the final points positions. Oh, Magzar's retired. Magzar retires. Oh, and Sanford's drifting around turn 3 as well. Keeps it going. Almost takes out Oscar Williams for good measure. He'll hold on to P10 though. Oh, Shielder! Shielder round. Sanford up to P9. Oscar Williams up to P10. Where's Batata as well? Batata surely coming to the end. On his return. And there he is! Tarek Batata on his return! He wins his first race back in Formula Trout! What a story for the American! It's DAC Racing and Tarek Batata who win here in Formula Trout. Race 1 of the Premier Series Season 9 Master Split. Williams and Sanford are not going to take this. Oh, Williams off the road! Oh! He touches with Lewis! He touches with Lewis! I don't believe it! Hammerlink finishes second for his first podium in a long time. Hammerlink completes the podium after a phenomenal drive from the back of the grid. Sanford's going to come home in P8 after all of that. Shielder will be 9th after all of that. Resistors will be 10th. Lewis and Williams are going to be outside the points. Oh my goodness me, and the dramatic race gets even more dramatic on the final lap. Australia has not disappointed here for the Younger GP Australian Grand Prix. And it's... Yeah, a mess indeed is one way to describe that race, but it is Tarek Batata. Sanford doing some donuts. He knows he got very lucky there. Batata, the American, on his return to Formula Trout, wins. What a story that is. David Halligan, who struggled so much last season, comes home in second with his new team. Hammerlink, with a phenomenal drive from the back of the grid, will bring it home in third. Alex Cochran comes home in fourth. Hygo Puma also on his return with a great comeback after a few spins in fifth. Moradi sixth. Benoit, Sanford, Shielder. And then I think it was Lewis rounding out Oh, we can actually see it here, I think, maybe. I'm not sure. Well, that was crazy anyway. Resitis rounded out your top 10. My goodness me, what a race we have just seen. Hopefully, we'll get some interviews out of that one, because I would love to have some interviews out of that one. Holy moly. That was unbelievable. That is a crazy, crazy finish. Tarek Batata, take a bow, mate.
I mean, if you're aware of Tarek, like, he is capable of race wins. He's capable of challenging for podiums at least. But you know, to expect that comeback and straight off the bat, just put in a performance that, well, he was there picking up the pieces, and he didn't crack.
Yeah, he stayed clean, exactly. Well, we're gonna drag fourth place finisher, challenger split streamer, and all round legend Alex Cochrane in. Alex, did you expect to finish fourth in that race?
No, I'm quite happy with that.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around what's just seen. That was genuinely a case of stay out of the carnage and you'll do well. You had a nice little battle with Hammerlink as well, who obviously took your seat at Nova Finlandia. But my goodness me, what a performance! Well done, mate. Just run us through how crazy that was.
Yeah, you know, obviously qualifying was a bit disappointed. I think I started down in like P12, maybe lower. I can't remember, but I was really disappointed. I got blocked on my fast lap by one of the new guys. You know, just one of those things tricky rounds here. Yeah, and then as you said, I had a pretty lucky start. Well, no, I had a pretty good start. Managed to make up a few positions, and then I had the car felt really good on the C3s because we were going to run the C4s at first, but we switched to the C3s and the car felt fantastic on them. You know, like, yeah, it just felt really good on the C3s. I had a little off when I was chasing down Halligan. I think he finished in the podium, so well done him. But yeah, a little off, but then, as you said, just went back in the pits, ran, stayed out of trouble, and it, yeah, paid off in the end. P4, I'm very happy with that, to be honest.
Yeah, first race with the new boys as well over at Griffin Gaming. That is awesome for you. And yeah, Halligan did actually finish second, so that was great for him as well. But yeah, what a crazy race. How are you finding the new car? Obviously, you were alongside me in the con booth for Challenger Split, and you know, one of the things we were pointing out was how much everyone was struggling with the back end of the new car, and we saw today just loads and loads of spins. Do you think that's just it was just a common thing? Was it something with the car, with the track?
It is tough around here, especially the curbs are very aggressive. You know, when you touch them, you feel them and you can hear them. Even the engine note is vibrating. They're that strong. So you know, if you catch the exit wrong, that can lift the back of the car up. They're very aero sensitive, these cars, and it can just spring you around if you're yawing at all. Yeah, and obviously there is less rear grip, and the tires where the weight comes down, you feel like you can push more, and then just one wrong move. I think it happened to Andreas. Unfortunately, you know, just catches it wrong, and then you're in the wall, and you have to pit, or you know, you might be out of the race. So it is tricky, much harder than last season's car. So it's something to adapt to for sure.
Well, certainly. Well, great job out there, Alex. Well done staying out of most of the carnage, and a very good result as well. Well done.
Right, thank you.
And well, that was Alex Cochrane P4. We're gonna get our race winner in. Tarek Batata, can you hear us?
Yes, hello.
Well, you return to Formula Trout, and
Yep.
you're in first time out. That must feel pretty special.
Just as I planned it.
I mean,
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. I was not expecting that, to be honest. But I do love this track, so I know I have a really good groove around here, and it's all about staying alive, which no one in front really wanted to do. But yeah, it came to me in the end.
yeah, as you said, crazy race. Yeah, you that was a phenomenal drive out there from you. You know, you kept it
Thank
clean.
you.
You were just out the front. You know, you were in no trouble whatsoever. And you've come back and you've kind of put down a gauntlet. It's almost like you've never been gone.
Yeah,
So
yeah, exactly. But yeah, it was crazy. Like there was, I think, 3 or 4 people in front of me at one point leading who, yeah, lost it at one end, and I basically just had to keep my cool, try not to spin in those slow corners where I saw like Paul and someone else spin in front of me. So yeah, that was a scary last 10 laps. I'll tell you that.
Well, I can certainly imagine. Honestly, I have nothing else to say. Just what a performance we've seen tonight. Again, congratulations. What a fairy tale result for you as well on your first time back in trial with a win. Awesome stuff. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot. Yep, hope to keep it up for the season.
Well, fingers crossed, of course, next time out, if I consult my list of where we're going, because I've got it here because it's easier just to pull it up. We're heading over to
Bahrain?
Bahrain. Yeah, do you like Bahrain?
Not really,
Oh, well,
but we'll
you know.
see.
Yeah, we'll see.
I do like this car. I like this car. So
Wow, that's interesting because most people hate it compared to last season.
no, it feels the same as the 2022 for like a bit slower, but nothing crazy.
Well, we'll just have to see. Thanks for joining us, Trek. And again, what a performance. Well deserved.
Thank
Well
you.
done.
Thanks a lot.
That was your race winner, Trek Batata. We will drag third place in now. Max Hammerlink, your reigning champion. Max, you started from the back. Did you expect to get a podium out of that?
Yeah, that was sort of the goal, but I got a really bad opening lap. Unfortunately, I got killed twice. Once in turn 1, I got turned around to where I was facing backwards, and then I got killed in sector 3 again. Yeah, so considering that, that was probably like the best result I could have asked for.
I mean, it was still a phenomenal drive. So I don't know why you sound a bit upset, to be honest.
Because I know I could have won today. Like
From the back.
Yeah, because so after I got taken out, my front and rear wing were both orange, so I drove with that for the first stint for 23 laps, I think, and my lap times were like 1.5 seconds a lap slower than what they should have been.
Yeah, well,
So I think I probably could have had a shot at the win if that hadn't happened, but you know, it is what it is. I mean, I haven't looked at the replay yet. I don't even know what happened, but just gonna be some, you know, someone's front wing probably just clipping my rear wheel or something. It's whatever. It happens, right? So.
well, I mean, third place is still not a bad result, but today was absolute carnage. Do you think that and it was more luck than anything that decided the results today? Because frankly, everyone was having a spin at some point.
I don't know about luck. I mean, I always try to preach like staying consistent and not spinning is in the long run always gonna work out better. And I mean, today was another example, I guess. Like I like someone like Tarek, you know, just winning. Due to that, like due to people just spinning in front of him, just because he stayed consistent, he drove his laps, and you know that's how you win races as well. So that's just another example of that, I guess.
Well, you sound, even though it's a podium, you sound disappointed. You thought you could have won, but maybe next time at Bahrain you'll be able to prove yourself. Thank you for joining us, Max, and a great result.
Yeah, thank you for commentating as always, and yeah, we'll see. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be at Bahrain.
Oh, that's a shame.
We'll see. Yeah.
Maybe we'll see you at Mugello afterwards. Well, thank you anyway, Max, and yeah, great job.
Yeah, you too, mate, and cheers. Bye bye.
See you later. That was Max Hammerlink, reigning champion and P3. We'll pull another returnee to the championship and another superstar from today, Hygo Pumin. Hygo, this is the first time I've seen you in a Assetto course, and that was some performance, mate.
Oh yeah, you haven't seen me here before. Yeah, you used to race here before I came to R Factor 2, but now we know each other from R Factor 2,
Yeah,
of course.
yeah.
So it's a bit of a weird switch around. I'm usually the one doing the cameras.
Yeah, I'm just, I mean, Kilgore was the one on the cameras. I've just sat here and talked about it. Still, great performance on your return. Obviously, you got quite unlucky with, you know, a few spins here and there, but ultimately, you must feel really happy with that.
Yeah, I can be happy with what happened. I'm definitely a bit rusty in the game. It's a bit alien to me, but the racing was great. I had a good old battle with Alex. I think we finished 0.1 behind each other. So yeah, I had fun. Yeah, I can be happy with that.
Well, I'm impressed. So, you know, you did a decent job. You know, at one point you were even running in the lead. I think it was a absolutely crazy race. You know, so you obviously had a very good return. I guess the plan is now just to keep improving, keep performing, get some wins under your belt, something like that.
Yeah, just try to improve. I'm struggling with the car a bit right now. It feels a bit weird, but I think that's just something I will only get better at as the rounds go on. So looking forward to the next one already.
Well, obviously off to Bahrain in 2 weeks' time. I'm looking forward to it as well. But thanks for joining us, Hargo. And again, great performance out there.
Yeah,
And
thank you
well
for
done on your
commentating.
return. No, it's no trouble at all. That was Hargo Poom on his return. Please do still excuse me 1 second. My throat has just given up right at the end. Right, 2 more. Let's go with Agnes Rositis first. Agnes, can you hear us?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can definitely hear you, my good sir. So, obviously, sorry, I do apologise. So obviously, your first Master Split race. I know that you're currently doing a 24-hour race at the same time. I'm commentating over that as well, so I've got the pleasure of enjoying you in both of those. But you know, bear in mind you've got that 24-hour race on at the same time as well. That went pretty well for your first Master Split race, I thought.
Yeah, I scored my first point in my debut. Yay!
Exactly. What's not to love? You came 10th. Points. Great stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, first of all, I had a pretty great start, and then I had to use all my endurance racing skill to make my strategy work because I used C4 and C3 on a one-stopper. So and
Oh,
it
that's
worked.
impressive. That is impressive. Wow.
And it worked really well for me, and I had so many battles.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
obviously you're off racing an LMP1, I assume, in a bit. Do you think, you know, obviously doing the 24 hours, did that affect your abilities tonight at all? Maybe fatigue or just having to be used to a different car, or was, you know, did you just get on with it?
You know, my shoulders and neck is hurting like hell right now.
Oh,
I
I can
just
imagine. I can imagine.
I just couldn't wait for the race to finally end. And that final lap it was some mental lap. There was
Oh,
cars
my goodness
absolutely
me.
everywhere.
Yeah, the final lap was crazy. I was absolutely losing it here. I mean, obviously next time we go to Bahrain, you won't have a 24-hour race on. So should we expect better results then?
I don't know, probably, I hope.
Well, I mean, fingers crossed here. It's onwards and upwards is the saying, isn't it? Thanks for joining us, Agnes. And again, points on your Master Split debut. What's not to enjoy? Well done.
Thank you. Cheers.
That was Agnes Rositis, P10. Last, but of course not least, Toby Sanford. Toby, what was going on in those last few laps?
I don't know. Everything kind of exploded and everything. Last 10 laps because Andreas had came in for a pit stop. So obviously I knew I was in the points at that point, but I didn't realize if I was, or I didn't know whether or not I was pretty far into the points or not. So as far as I was aware, the last 10 laps needed to just be constant qualifying laps in order to keep the position, because obviously I hadn't qualified very well. Kind of made my way up to points paying positions through, I think, a combination of going for the one stop and just generally not dying massively, I think.
Yeah, that helps.
Yeah. And then last lap came, ran out of battery to defend, as you do. Basically just derated down into turn one massively, had no boost to fight back with. Did the usual Formula Hybrid thing of just locking the rears for no reason. Nearly kill everyone.
Classic.
Nearly kill everyone into turn 3. Somehow don't. And then it's kind of blurred. I don't really remember what happened from turn 3 up until 11 and 12 when I saw 2 cars behind me just spearing off in different directions, and then I knew I'd got the position, and that was it.
Yeah, I mean, you went from like 10th to 11th to 8th in like half a lap. That was I was losing my mind in the commentary. I was like, what is going on?
It was pretty ridiculous.
I mean, you seem pretty happy with it. You got donuts out of it. So.
Yeah, well, I think it's the happiest I've been for 8th or an 8th place, especially given how poor qualifying went, because I felt like I was getting everything I could out of it, and I was still 1 point something seconds down. So I'm not really sure what happened qualifying wise. I'm guessing the other guys were finding places where you can maybe run a little wider and so on that I didn't know about. But yeah, I think it was like 15th, 16th to 8th. I don't think is a terrible effort.
Yeah, I mean, that's points on the board as well out of race 1. I know you're not as big as a fan, I think is the correct thing to say, of this year's car as you were to last year's, but still a good performance. And Bahrain, obviously, a very different track from Melbourne. Did you think your chances might be a little bit better there?
I'm not entirely sure, if I'm honest. I'm not a particular fan of Bahrain driving-wise. It's not one of my favourite circuits, but I generally seem to go okay everywhere, so kind of have to wait and see what happens when it comes to that race.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good mentality to have. Thanks, Toby, for joining us. And again, well done on possibly contender for the craziest last lap in Trout history. Great job, well done.
Thank you very much.
That was Toby Sanford, and he didn't say anything that upset his boss Kilgore either in the commentary booth. So that was a bonus, I'm sure. I think that's about it in terms of tonight. What a crazy pair of races we've had in both the Challenger and the Master Splits here. Round 1 of Season 9 of the Formula Trout Premier Series in Melbourne, Australia. And boy, oh boy, if the rest of the season is like that, then I'm going to need a new voice box after this one, because it's already ruined after one race. Imagine what it's going to be like after 12. 2 weeks' time, it's Bahrain. And oh man, it's going to be absolutely mental. Make sure